My full name is Kelly Lengel. My child in the program is Everett Lengel, and he is 4.5, turning 5 in August. And I'm sorry, what was the last question?
Where are you from?
Where am I from? Originally from California, grew up in Minnesota, came back to California. Yeah, there were so many, so I'm like, that's hard. A huge turning point for me, I want to say, was almost right off the bat when they sat down with me. They had a conversation with me face to face, and they heard my story without ever meeting me prior. They were the first people to willingly take a chance on me. They were the first people to not judge me because of my past history with addiction. They weren't judging me for anything. They were just like, hey, I see you, I hear you, and I think you would be a great fit. And it was in that moment realizing there's a room full of strangers who have my back and support me more than people who gave birth to me. The most emotional challenge that I faced prior coming to HomeLight, there are a couple that pile together. I am a survivor of domestic violence. And with that, it quickly led to addiction, and with addiction led to an accident where I became disabled. And when I got discharged from the hospital, I was kicked out of my home from my grandfather for being, as he said, stupid, for having the accident in the first place. And so with that, I was, instead of being given a hug, I was introduced to hard drugs, which snowballed. So was it really one thing? No, it was a plethora of things, and my lack of self-esteem and knowing better to do better. So there was a plethora of issues. So many things. First off, how have I been able to overcome and heal since being a part of HomeLight? I have, 1, been shown support, 2, been given stability, which stability is the number one key to success if you want to be able to grow. If you want to work on your mental health, addiction, or anything else, you need stability. You can't do that when everything is rocky and crazy. But another thing is, like, I've been given the opportunity to explore my physical health and get the help that I need with my disability, and the support services there. So being able to have stability while navigating that and being a mom is so huge. How has my sense of hope changed since I've been a part of HomeLight? I wouldn't say that I had hope prior. I was just like, I hear what people are saying and that's what I gotta do, and I'm doing it, and I'm believing that when other people are telling me that it's gonna be better and to trust the process, that it is. In that process, I started to trust myself, and I started to be able to trust the process. So now I have hope. My sense of hope has changed in the sense that now I have hope moving forward, in the sense that I know that I'm capable of a successful future. So I put myself in things like school and stuff like that, because if I've seen where I grew from living in shambles and sleeping in not great places to where I am now, that means where I am now to where I want to go is possible. So I have hope that I am capable of getting there. Some of the dreams and hopes I have now that I didn't think were possible prior to joining HomeLight is finishing my college education and getting a bachelor's degree in business administration. My goal is to do that so I can open a nonprofit, so I can help people who are struggling with wanting to get into programs or shelters or whatever, and I can hopefully foster their animals, because sometimes that is a barrier that stops people from wanting to get into programs. It was a barrier for me from getting help sooner. Right. I am, as a disabled person, I can't legally work a real job, and I'm not hireable, so that made me get creative. And since I had to wait for the disability legally to be claimed, I needed to find a workaround. So I, as a person who does not work, who's been homeless, I'm able to get money through the FAFSA,
Nice.
which is extra income. There are other programs besides FAFSA. So I can get an education, so I can start my nonprofit. So if I don't get legally disabled or qualified as disabled, I still have something to fall back on. Yeah, I had pieces, but I didn't know how to put it together. And again, it's this program who's like, hey, here's the stability. I believe in you. Cool, that got me this far. Thank you for believing in me. Like, the dreams I have now for myself and my family that I didn't think were possible prior to joining HomeLight is to start a nonprofit. So I'm a business administration student currently. And my goal is to start a nonprofit so I can help people and help animals who are looking to get into programs and stuff. But also within doing that, I want to show my son that it is possible. Like, hey, you can do anything you set your mind to, do stuff that makes you happy, follow your heart. As long as you follow your heart, everything else will fall into place. So, oh my goodness, how has HomeLight impacted me and my child's life?
Yes.
Besides every which way. Because HomeLight, again, I always go back to that stability because it gave me that stability and faith in my ability to grow as a human and get out of where I was. HomeLight has supported me with my mental health endeavors, my disability endeavors, so all encompassing physical, being able to do physical therapy, being able to explore all of these things that I didn't know I needed to in order to take care of myself. It has supported me in connecting me with different programs so I could get into housing because I didn't have that money myself. It has supported me in knowing I have somebody I can contact if I am having a hard day, you know? And they're like, hey, I hear you, that's great. Also, here's a bunch of other people and it connects you with more people, more networking. But the biggest thing, because it gave me this stability, it allows me to be the mom and show up for my son that he deserves. Because even though it's been almost 3 years since I've physically been in the shelter, there was a lot of stuff to unpack and different things, and I wouldn't have been able to do that. I wouldn't be able to show up for my kid if I was so mentally stressed out with all of these, I want to say minuscule, but basics to surviving. So I get to show up as the mom I want to be. So what changes have I seen in my child since being at HomeLight? Little hard to tell because when I was in the shelter, he was just learning how to walk. He was still in diapers. He wasn't even a year old yet. So he did all of those things. He took his first steps out there. Yeah. So that was really magical to me. So how has he grown? Or he's almost in elementary school now. He is doing all the things. So I'm not certain exactly how HomeLight.
I mean, he took his first steps out here.
Yeah, and like he's just been growing. So I don't even know if he's aware that he was a part of the shelter. Yeah. He just gets the opportunity to grow without disturbances, without understanding of a traumatic impact. I guess if that makes.
Yeah.
You know what? There's been so many meaningful moments since my child and I have been a part of HomeLight. But while we were here, I don't even know. I want to say like anytime there was like an event, so Easter events or Mother's Day events or Christmas, so many people were willing to step up and show out so that us families in this shelter didn't have to miss out. And I cried every time they're like, hey, just so you know, yeah, we do this and we're going to do a meeting and you're going to get sponsors for Christmas and all this stuff. I cried like a little baby because I was like, it's so nice to have people be so nice, you know? And you're not used to that when you're used to struggling and fighting for your survival.
Absolutely. And they're cheerful givers too.
They are, and they're the sweetest people I've ever met in my life. Every time I've come to a barbecue or a dinner or something, everyone is so nice. It's that conversation and communication as to, hey, I see you because I was you once.
Yes.
And that is like, you look so successful, I never would have thought, you know? And HomeLight has helped me build my resilience by being the first people to help me see my worth. I'm gonna try to explain this without giving too much, but I remember when I first started here, there was somebody else who was trying to like knock on my door and get my number and ask me to send photos photos. That person didn't end up staying here long, and I communicated with the program director, Ricardo. And it was the first time where it was like, no, you need to, stay protected. That guy's not safe. Stay away from him. He doesn't have your best interest. And I appreciated that, because outside of here, it was always having to give something in order to survive. So they helped me see my worth. Oh, what have I learned about my own strength? I am resilient AF. Not sure if I'm allowed to swear, but I am resilient. I am so freaking capable of doing what is being asked and going above and beyond in growth. I didn't know I would be doing the things I am doing today when I started here in June a couple of years ago. I am in college, I'm self-sufficient, I pay my own bills, and I do it all by myself without the help from another partner or family community, so I'm really proud. They showed me I could do that. Sorry, I wasn't planning to cry.
Oh, that is beautiful.
Some lessons I want to pass down to my child. Oh my gosh, that's a great question, because there are so many. The greatest thing I can give my child is self-sufficiency, because being able to rely on himself is the greatest thing. But that self-sufficiency is everything from are you proud of yourself, instead of saying, I'm so proud of you. So he doesn't have to look for that from an outside person, because when I look back on my life, that was a big downfall for me. So if I can teach him that, that's what I want to teach him. How has a sense of community made a difference for me in my life? The community that HomeLight offers is my community. When I say I do not speak to my mother, I do not have a father, I do not speak to anybody who is blood related. HomeLight showed up when I needed it. They didn't leave me when I was done with it. And that is so great. Again, if I need to ask for help on refiling for some paperwork, I can speak to Gladys. If I need to say, hey, I'm looking for somebody in the recovery community, can you point me in the direction? Ricardo is ready to roll. He has got someone on standby. If I need to talk to anybody else, there is somebody who can point me in the direction of where to go. And that is community. This is my whole community. So, and it didn't stop just because I left. So, thank you. Ricardo, I remember he's like, make sure you use the programs. That's what the programs are for. Because I was one of those people who was like, oh, it's not for me. And I was like, wait, but I qualify. Maybe it is for me. Use them. Because if you don't use them, how are you supposed to get ahead? That's why they're there. So you can, yes. Some of the programs that HomeLight has to offer, well, there's a variety. When I was here, one of the programs that was offered to me was the PATH program, and that was in the process of moving out. They helped you with your furniture and your first month's rent or your deposit. So again, both things that I could not afford when I was getting out of here. I'm not sure if there is a name for it, but they were able to connect me to a person who helped me redo my whole resume. I'm not sure if there was a name or how they were connected. That person was also then to connect me to a pro bono lawyer that I guess works for other families or has been working for other families in this program. And that was to help me get my disability. So again, things I never thought I'd get help working the disability thing. So I don't know if there were program names, but they just had so many programs. They had, I am blanking on every single name right now.
That's okay.
Yeah, I just know they had access. They had so many different things. I'm thinking of my school programs right now too. Yeah. Ricardo has always said, use the programs, that's the point of the programs. The role that Ricardo has played in my life is huge. Generally speaking, if I'm saying they, I'm probably referring to Ricardo when it comes to this place. Ricardo was the one that first got in contact with me when I kept reaching out, trying to see how I could get into this program. He was the one who virtually met with me. He's the one who would speak with me. He's the one I will probably most likely shoot a message to if it's anything recovery related. He's the one who gives me the best little snippets of life advice, like a partner is not a plan, and still to this day have not chosen any type of relationship because building myself is more important, than allowing anybody to swoop in and mess that up in any way. So I guess I don't have anything one specific. He's just been a real hard, like, I see your strength and I see you and I believe in you, and thank you. So
Wow.
Ricardo is a godsend. He is sent to look out for people, and he's here doing his job good. Very well. The support of other women in this program has definitely played a big part of my journey. I wouldn't say that I necessarily had a lot of women in my life prior to outside of here. And the women from this HomeLight shelter, again, it adds to the community. There are other moms where I'm like, hey, I see you, and we have an understanding. Just because you've been through similar things, whether you don't have the exact same story, you're like, hey, I see you and I see your strength. There are moms that I get to connect with outside of here. And again, it's still like, we could talk about anything. It's just a different type of support, It's a different understanding of what that person has been through and what they're capable of. One of the biggest impactful moments where I felt uplifted was either when I first was leaving and I was moving into my housing that I have now, and it was my concern of losing that community and losing that support system, and just being reaffirmed, no, we're always going to be here for you. The way HomeLight has made me feel uplifted and making me feel like I have a sense of belonging now, the sense of belonging through HomeLight has made me feel safe, which is so utterly important when I didn't feel safe prior. It makes me feel like I have family. It makes me feel like I have people who care. It makes me feel like I'm forever a part of this like secret society almost that is just there to help people, I guess. I feel like, what is my vision for my future, and how do I see HomeLight helping me with that? My vision for my future is to successfully graduate with a bachelor's degree in business administration. I plan and I see myself starting a nonprofit, and also self-publishing and finishing writing my book, and then also continue public speaking and sharing my story so I can talk about domestic violence and addiction and homelessness and programs and all those things. So how do I see HomeLight helping me that? Believing in me, supporting me, everything they're continuing to do. When I have something good that happens, Ricardo's like, tell me about it, let me know. And you know what? I do every single time. He's one of the first people I'm like, hey, just so you know, this happened, and I'm really excited. So I see it continuing exactly as it has been. Being able to show up and just be like, I see you're doing a great job. And when I do have that book and I sign it and it's published and it's written and I have that hard copy, I will be bringing a copy here. So, well, to the people who have contributed to HomeLight to make everything happen, if it weren't for you believing in what this program could do, then moms like me would not get the opportunity to go to college and show up for their kids and work on their mental health and be able to take care of themselves. Because it is the aid that you provide that has made everything in my life possible since I've started with this program, and I'm forever grateful. So that's it. You're helping and it makes a difference. The generosity from the people who donate to HomeLight has impacted my life so far by allowing me, again, stability, safety, security, and the basic necessities for living and being able to grow and thrive. So.
Wonderful.
I think it is important for donors to continue supporting places like HomeLight in the future because, again, programs like these are what is helping people, and without support, a lot of people don't have community, a lot of people don't have healthy family dynamics, a lot of people don't have the knowledge even on how to access resources, and it is these programs that are helping open the minds and connect people to where they need to be so they can get to where they're trying to go, and everybody is worth that opportunity. HomeLight. 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 HomeLight Family Living. HomeLight Family Living. HomeLight Family Living.
Yes.
Then to the camera? Or
Yeah.
is it? Okay. HomeLight Family Living. HomeLight Family Living. HomeLight Family Living. 30 years of home, hope, and healing. 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 Okay.
Okay. Then let's do one with just hands relaxed. 30 years of home. What is that?
Home, hope, and healing.
And healing.
30 years of home, hope, and healing. Thank you, Ricardo. 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 Thank you, Ricardo.